Dark humor. Some people hear about it and immediately crack up. Others hear it and get offended, even before the punchline lands. But why is it that certain people, especially men, gravitate so strongly towards dark humor? And more importantly, what does dark humor say about you psychologically? Tonight, that's exactly what we're diving into. What even is dark humor? Dark humor is comedy that touches upon topics people usually avoid: death, trauma, pain, crisis, tragedy. On paper, it sounds depressing, yet somehow it makes millions laugh. Why? Because dark humor isn't actually about the darkness, it's about the release from it. It's taking something painful and reducing it to a joke. For a moment, even the worst parts of life lose their power. That right there is the core of dark humor, turning pain into control. Researchers from the University of Vienna conducted a study and found something fascinating. People who appreciate dark humor tend to score higher in intelligence, lower in aggression, and higher in emotional stability than those who don't. That's right. Contrary to common belief, enjoying dark humor doesn't mean you're twisted. It usually means your brain handles negativity better than average. Here's why. You mentally process pain faster. Dark humor makes your brain do two things at once: understand the tragic scenario, twist it into something absurd, ironic, or funny. This requires faster cognitive processing. You're basically taking something uncomfortable and reframing it instantly. That's a psychological skill, and most people don't have it. You use humor as a coping mechanism. Dark humor is often rooted in emotional resilience. When you've seen real stress, real chaos, real heartbreak, you learn that laughing at it sometimes helps more than crying about it. It's the same reason soldiers, firefighters, paramedics, and doctors often use dark humor. It's their way of staying sane in situations where normal people would break. So, if you enjoy dark humor, it means you're someone who has endured life and learned to handle it with a grin. You see the world as it is, not as it pretends to be. Most people live in a bubble, fragile, idealistic, protected. Anything slightly disturbing shatters them. But people who enjoy dark humor, they understand that the world is chaotic, unpredictable, unfair. Laughing about it doesn't mean you like the chaos. It means you've accepted reality. Dark humor thrives on honesty, even when that honesty is uncomfortable. Dark humor isn't really about the joke. It's about the ability to discuss what others avoid. Not everyone has the emotional bandwidth to do that, but the ones who do, they're usually more open-minded, more self-aware, and more psychologically flexible. Why men love dark humor more than women? Now, whether people like it or not, this is statistically true. Men lean towards dark humor much more than women. Why? Men bond through insults, roasting, and edgy jokes. For men, humor is a love language. It's how friendships are built. When men roast each other, share dark jokes, or laugh about something heavy, that's not toxicity. That's how men show trust. Women usually bond emotionally. Men bond through sheer laughter, especially dark laughter. Men face social pressure to be strong. Men are accepted to be problem solvers, stoic, calm, unshakable. So instead of expressing emotions directly, men often express them sideways, through humor. Dark humor becomes a release valve. You're not talking about your trauma, you're making a joke about it. But deep down, that is a form of expression. Male loneliness intensifies the need for dark humor. Men experience a unique kind of loneliness, the kind where you must be strong, composed, reliable, even when you're falling apart. Dark humor is a safe space for men to acknowledge their pain without feeling weak. It's a shield, a disguise, a silent cry wrapped in a punchline. The social dynamics behind dark humor. Dark humor says a lot about how people view themselves and others. Dark humor creates an instant filter for people. If two people laugh at the same dark joke, they instantly understand each other. It's more like a psychological handshake. Ah, you get how the world works. It forms a deeper connection than small talk ever can. Dark humor tests emotional maturity. Anyone can laugh at surface level comedy, but dark humor that requires a certain maturity, a certain distance from your own ego. You're able to separate a joke from the actual topic. You're able to understand the irony without internalizing the pain. If someone gets offended by every dark joke, it's usually because their worldview is fragile, they take everything literally, they can't separate humor from reality. Dark humor exposes emotional fragility like nothing else. Dark humor is a rebellion against the perfect society lie. We live in a world obsessed with everything being sanitized, polished, politically correct. Dark humor cuts through that illusion. It's a reminder that real life is messy, unpredictable, brutal, and sometimes the only power we have is to laugh at it. Dark humor is anti fake. It's raw, it's honest, it's fearless. And people crave that in a world full of filters, edits, and lies. What dark humor secretly says about you. If you enjoy dark humor, here's what it often reveals. You're more mentally resilient, you have a higher emotional tolerance, you're intelligent, you don't crumble under pressure, you process negativity faster, you've accepted life's harsh truths, you can laugh at your own pain, you're not fragile, you're not naive, you're grounded in reality. And most importantly, you don't fear the dark, you dance with it. Dark humor isn't for everyone, and it doesn't have to be. But for the people who understand it, it becomes a companion, a shield, a coping mechanism, a sign of resilience, a reminder that life can't always hurt you if you are willing to laugh at the punchline. Dark humor isn't about being twisted or insensitive, it's about being human, brutally